Welcome to the Green and the Gold. I'm Mary Drabick inside Siena College's television studio, where students don't just study journalism, they practice it. What you're about to see are stories about some of the people and programs making headlines and making a difference on the Siena College campus. Stories written, shot, and edited by students in the broadcast program. Real stories from real students covering your campus.
The campus crowns a new king. The Saints scored big on the court. And we've got the story behind everybody's favorite Saint. The Green and the Gold goes behind the scenes with campus public safety. And meet the friar who beats the tune of a different drum. This is The Green and the Gold, a production of the broadcast program at Siena College. A look at the people and places making headlines and making a difference on the Siena College campus. Those stories, plus Siena students petting pooches, making masks, and giving the gift of life. The Green and the Gold starts now.
Welcome to The Green and the Gold. I'm Emily Caridio.
And I'm Jude Costigan.
The presidential election has everyone talking across the country and here on campus. The Green and the Gold's Alyssa Giordano has that story.
2016 will be the year for many things, but possibly the most important, who will be the next president of the United States?
That right now we are in a special time in American history where we have such a broad field with such very different candidates.
Names like Bush, Clinton, and Trump have been household names for students' entire lives. So some are worried that that will have a huge effect on the election.
When it comes to the Bushes, they base Jeb Bush off of his brother and his father. With Hillary, they do base her off of her husband and stuff and what they've done. So I definitely feel like that affects their ideas of the person that's running.
I think there's certainly a name recognition factor. Something that I've kind of categorized Donald Trump as is sort of a tabloid candidate. He's got a different kind of name recognition than the Bushes and the Clintons, and whereas he has more the celebrity factor.
Political science major Mackenzie Frank had the opportunity to intern for Republican Marco Rubio's campaign, and she encourages Siena students to learn as much information about the candidates as they possibly can. Most students around Siena campus can vote for the president for the first time this election, but who will they vote for?
I guess Bernie Sanders, because I hate Donald and Hillary.
Yeah, Bernie Sanders.
Right now I'm leaning towards Hillary. I agree with so many of the things that she does.
I would vote for Marco Rubio.
I like Jeb Bush and Marco Rubio.
The election doesn't take place until November, but in the meantime, look out for voter registration days around campus.
Many students plan to cast a ballot in the big race, but first, they had to register. A voter registration drive this semester in the SSU helps students register to vote in the upcoming election. For many, it will be their first time at the polls.
The Siena community took to their feet to stand in solidarity to stop violence against women. The Green and the Gold's Mackenzie Wolfson has more on this year's 1 Billion Rising event.
1 Billion Rising is a national organization formed to end violence against women. 1 in 3 women in their lifetime are victims of violence. That is 1 billion women worldwide. This movement began on Valentine's Day in 2012, and since then, the following has grown to over 200 countries worldwide fighting for peace.
1 in 3 women is a crazy amount. 1 billion women in the world face violence in their life, and I think that have an event like this to raise awareness about that important cause is really important.
Many clubs on campus donated money or supplies to this event, including the Women's Center, Damietta, the Student Events Board, WVCR The Saint, and more. The event hosted many performers, including local Assemblywoman Pat Fahey.
It is the youth that always do make the changes in this country. Thank you so much.
And multiple Siena dance clubs. The Bongar team performed their own routine and then came back on stage for a special performance. The movement calls for revolution and encourages people to add an artistic energy to the movement to help spread the word. Siena has taken this idea into full effect with the Break the Chain dance. The Bongar team teaches the crowd a routine, and they all rise and perform the dance together.
Looking into the crowd and seeing people's reactions, like people were getting really into it, they were like smiling, and it's just kind of a feeling of unison and coming togetherness.
Mackenzie Wolfson, The Green and the Gold.
It is one of the biggest fundraisers on campus and one of the biggest nights of the year. The Green and the Gold's Jude Costigan takes us inside this year's Mr. Siena competition.
And the winner of Mr. Siena 2016 is...
Flashback 3 days ago on a quiet, dark, and wet Siena campus. Nothing can be heard around Siena Hall except some passing cars on Route 9. But wait, what's that? Music from the second floor. Take a closer look inside, and the contestants for this year's Mr. Siena are having one of their final practices before the big show. They've been practicing like this for months now, as far back as last October. And as these final days of preparation came around, I had a chance to ask the contestants what they'd do if they won.
Thank my mom for sending me here.
My parents flew up from Texas, so the first thing I want to do is probably just hug them and say thank you.
Oh man, probably go to Disney World.
Just days later, the competition was in full swing, and along with it came dances, musical acts, comedy skits, and a number of other sketches that were performed in the name of Habitat for Humanity, which is the program that the proceeds of Mr. Siena are donated to. But what won the show was contestant Paolo Fiore's skit that incorporated a dancing friar, damsels in distress, and a sudden twist that got the crowd roaring in laughter. With the conclusion of this year's Mr. Siena, months of hard work came to an end, and newly found dance skills and friendships were made. For Siena's Green and the Gold, I'm Jude Costigan.
It's one way to warm up during the cold winter months, and the annual Saratoga Chowder Fest is a Siena College tradition of sorts. The Green and the Gold's Jamie Delaney made the trip north as students chowed down.
Siena students spooned, sipped, and stuffed themselves in downtown Saratoga for the 18th annual Chowder Fest. Students filled up on chowder without emptying their wallets. A cup of chowder is only $1. But besides the bargain bowls, what else brought Siena students from Loudonville to Saratoga?
I never had chowder before, so today was a good day.
Siena students weren't the only ones chowing down. With thousands of attendees, students waited in lines stretching for nearly a block to taste over 50 different chowders.
The crowds are showing and the chowder's flowing, but what are Siena students thinking of this year's Chowder Fest?
I love chowder. It's a great atmosphere here. Great city, great town.
Ask a student between bites to describe Chowder Fest, and this is what you'll hear.
Amazing.
Super fun.
A lot of people.
Super. Just fun.
Chowder.
Students agreed this year's fest was Chowder This World. Jamie Delaney, the Green and the Gold.
Scores of students flocked to the Saracen Student Union for this year's club fair. They were eager to get more information about extracurricular opportunities on campus. Siena College offers more than 90 club opportunities, a chance to get more involved in a hobby or a charity, and find a new friend.
Siena College was in a state of celebration after they reached their fundraising goal of $50 million. Donors were invited to a campus celebration to thank them for their contributions to the college's Living Our Tradition campaign. Attendees included department heads, Siena alumni, as well as Siena College president, Brother Ed. Many said donating to Siena helps them keep a personal connection to the college.
It was important for us. We lost Jim's dad in December of 2007. So part of our turning our grieving into honoring was to donate to Siena College and create a scholarship, a Syrbolic Family Scholarship. So it really helped us, and we also can help other students.
When I first started at Siena, I was having some problems. I'm dyslexic, and there was a friar, Father Mikowski, in the counseling center that really helped me, encouraged me to try some different avenues.
We provide a great deal of financial aid to students who come here, so it's really the donors and the gifts of individuals who, in large part, make that available to us.
The college is currently in the process of developing a new strategic plan, a blueprint of sorts to chart the school's progress in years ahead. It's a big process that's taking into account ideas from faculty, students, and staff.
We know who we are as a liberal arts college, but we want to look at who are we going to become within the context of being a strong liberal arts college.
Everyone's seen those campus police officers here to keep the peace on the Siena College campus. The Green and the Gold's Jamie Delaney went behind the scenes to see how they keep Siena safe and sound.
Siena College Public Safety is much more than the source of parking tickets or the people who break up parties. These men and women are actively keeping Siena College safe. Whether they're patrolling campus or checking the security monitors, public safety is prepared for an emergency. With over 50 school shootings nationwide in 2015 alone, public safety is proactive in their strategy to avoid a potential disaster.
The big concern is the active shooter. We go through scenarios all the time, and we try to make all the officers aware of what to do in a potential situation, and we do train with Town of Connolly PD.
Students have all seen the emergency blue light posts scattered throughout campus, available for use in any emergency, no matter what time it is.
On weekends, they get used, but not for the emergency purposes. Every once in a while, they'll press them and walk on, and we still have to respond because it is we are being alerted to an emergency. We don't know what's going on.
Just how fast do they respond to a real emergency?
2 to 5 minutes in emergency. It's a small campus. We're there pretty quick.
But they don't only respond. It isn't uncommon to see public safety officers patrolling campus regularly. After so many days of checking out campus, the officers have learned which places need a little more supervision than others.
Yeah, generally in the townhouses, that's our most active area. The students tend to congregate there, especially in McCluskey. So you'll see more of us in McCluskey on a Friday or Saturday night.
With officers this dedicated to the well-being of everyone on campus, students can rest easy knowing they're safe and sound at Siena. Jamie Delaney, The Green and the Gold.
There's one police officer on campus you may see sitting in class. He's a student, but when he's not in school, he's on patrol as a sworn peace officer. The Green and the Gold's Emily Carrillo has the story.
Being a college student is hard enough. Being a resident assistant in one of the rowdiest halls on campus, even harder. Yet Jerry Castertino isn't your average RA.
Yeah, I arrested a man with drugs in a park in the middle of the night.
This boy in blue isn't your typical police officer.
Well, we're generally responsible for handling calls in our jurisdiction. Anything that you would call 911 for, anything from fights to people that are not wanted at certain locations to people stealing,
He's made some pretty impressive arrests, one even making local news.
I actually threw a firecracker at a horse carriage, and it caused the horse carriage to kind of buck on the road, and there were people in it and stuff.
Castertino hopes to continue on to law school, retiring his 5-0 days. Until then, this RA is one you do not want to mess with. He's been at Siena 33 years and counting, and this friar beats the tune of a different drum. See and hear for yourself. Once again, here's the Green and the Gold's Jude Costigan.
At first glance, Father Dennis Tamburello appears to be just like any other friar on Siena College's campus. Yet, only a quick conversation with this friar will prove otherwise. While most friars choose to live here at the friary, Father Dennis chooses to take the road less traveled, amongst the students of Snyder Hall. But how do a bunch of college-aged guys feel living next to a friar?
I mean, it's just like another hallmate, honestly. Besides the fact that he's just a great resource. He's always there to answer questions.
Just like any other hallmate? If being a friar wasn't enough to differentiate him, this sure is. Step into Father Dennis's room here at Snyder Hall, and you can't help but notice the entire drum set and multiple guitars. Not too many people know that Father Dennis here has actually been playing these instruments since he's been 15 years old. Father Dennis, give me an A. As you can see, this friar truly dances to the beat of his own drum, literally. Father Dennis is a drum aficionado and has become a common sight at Sunday Mass. In fact, was a part of the band 24/7, started by him and his two friends. Unfortunately, the band's days were cut short, but Father Dennis continues to jam on. Peace, love, and rock and roll. Father Dennis truly embodies this 1950s catchphrase, and while his headbanging days with 24/7 may have come to a close, Father Dennis is a constant reminder of what truly makes Siena an education of a lifetime. For the Green and the Gold, I'm Jude Costigan.
Students seeking spiritual guidance can always find a listening ear at the chaplain's office. That's where college chaplain Father Larry helps students seeking answers.
College life, there's nothing like it, and that you're here to grow. Academically, obviously, intellectually, socially, in your relationships, physically, but also spiritually. I think a spiritual component is a very important part of life that sometimes we don't put a lot of emphasis on, and I think spirituality will sustain you in challenging, difficult times that we have in life.
In honor of Homeless Awareness Month, Siena students held a winter coat drive to help the homeless in the Albany area. Bonner service leader Colleen Curran saw the need this cold winter season during her community service work. She works closely with the Interfaith Partnership for the Homeless and wanted to help them collect coats, hats, gloves, and boots. So far, the coat drive has collected more than 200 coats. Kern says some of the people she helps at the area's homeless shelter have personally asked for warm winter clothing.
He came in to me one day and he knows that I'm, affiliated with the coat drive and I, do a lot of work at Siena and there. And he said, is there any way you can keep your eye out for a coat for me?
Students rolled up their sleeves to give the gift of life this winter. Students across campus donated their blood to help others in need. The Red Cross holds blood drives throughout the year. Students who gave were given a thank you. Free t-shirts and sweet treats were on hand for all those who helped save a life this season.
The Student Events Board got Siena students in the Super Bowl state of mind by hosting Sports Trivia Night. Attendees divided themselves up into teams and rivalries formed. Participants battled it out for an array of gift cards to local restaurants and coffee shops. SEB provided an assortment of game-time snacks to fuel the competitors through their rigorous competition. Contestants were quizzed on a range of sports, including soccer, football, baseball, and basketball. So, what does it take to win?
Knowing all sports knowledge ever in the history of sports ever.
Valentine's Day can be a downer if you don't have a sweetheart. But that's where a four-legged friend can be a comfort. The Green and the Gold's Dan Gio explains why they call it puppy love.
Valentine's Day. For some, it's the most romantic day of the year, being able to spend a full day with your other half. However, for those who don't have someone to share it with, they want nothing to do with the holiday at all. Now, we know that not everyone can have a Valentine on the most romantic of days. But for those who don't, Siena College has figured out a perfect replacement. Puppies. Alright, well, not puppies, but doggies. Love was in the air tonight as people came out to support the SEB. Decorating pots, decorating cookies, but most importantly, playing with dogs just like Greta right here. 3 dogs were brought out for Siena students to play with. Ike, Greta, and Max all came out to run around and play with everyone who came out tonight.
We had 3 really big puppies tonight, one of them Max that I really related to, and I thought it was just a great time.
No one was able to keep their hands to themselves when these dogs came to play. The dogs were such a hit that some people were even thinking about taking the puppies home with them.
Yeah, there was a brown one. I might put them in my pocket and tip, but don't tell nobody.
It wasn't all about the dogs, though. For those crazy few who aren't big dog lovers, Siena gave students the chance to decorate cookies, make some personalized vases, and even listen to relaxing music.
And I just wanted to be a part of it, see the dogs, make a vase, decorate some cookies. I made a sugar cookie, some pink icing, white icing.
Not everyone can have a Valentine on Valentine's Day each year, but for those who don't, dogs seem to be a great substitute. For the Green and the Gold, I'm Dan Gio.
Siena is home to many historical buildings, but there's one landmark you may have missed. The Green and the Gold's Jude Costing goes searching for the secrets behind that big rock.
One of the first things one notices driving up Route 9 in Loudonville is the iconic Golden Dome of Siena. Only a short walking distance away lies an equally distracting, yet less noticed icon of Siena, the Rock. And no, not this rock, or even this rock, but this rock. In front of Siena College's campus lies this massive, ancient boulder. The only thing indicating its purpose here is a plaque in extremely poor condition. Looking at the clientele in Siena's best hangout spot, who would you expect to know something about a huge rock? Well, we asked sophomore Amelia O'Rourke if she had any insight on the purpose of the boulder.
Maybe a glacier put it there or something, I have no idea.
As for Katie O'Rourke, she had a different take on the rock's origin.
Maybe when they were first putting Siena College together, they were digging around and maybe there was a big rock in the way.
But our most shocking answer yet came from the mouth of Christian Maksudi.
Yeah, SpongeBob drove it from Bikini Bottom because that's what the Pilgrims have been doing for years.
As much as we would like to, the real story can be found on the weathered plaque next to this rock. A little hard to decipher, it is no wonder students are clueless about its meaning. But after some decoding, we learn the rock is a 60th anniversary commemorative piece of the first building on Siena's campus. Jude Costigan, The Green and the Gold.
Students got creative during a coffeehouse event in the SSU, where they were making masks for the big masquerade ball. The Green and the Gold's Jamie Delaney has details.
Glitter, stickers, and lots of paint coated Siena College's SSU this Thursday during the mask-making activity organized by the Student Events Board. There was no prerequisite to participate. Your year, major, or artistic ability didn't matter, and that created a wide range of results. Some masks were evolved purely in the moment, while others were planned weeks in advance.
Over winter break, I bought a plain mask and I bought all the paints and brushes and feathers. So, I mean, it was just more of just an idea of my own. Like, I just started painting. I was like, oh, let me put a swirl here. Let me put kind of like a wingtip here.
Siena College's Student Events Board offers a range of activities free of charge every Thursday for students. However, this week's turnout blew organizers away, nearly doubling the attendance of usual events.
Turnout was way more than we expected. We actually didn't get enough materials for anything. We ran out 15 minutes after the event started because everybody flooded in all at once. So it was a great turnout. Everyone seems to be having a good time.
While some masks were inspired by celebrities and color schemes, others had a more personal touch.
I picked the colors black, red, and gold because they're the colors of the German flag. I'm a German minor, and I have German heritage, so I thought that would be pretty cool. I think some of the best artwork is done on the spot, and this one didn't turn out too bad.
But what are these masks for? The Green and the Gold's Mackenzie Wolfson has the story.
Students had the chance to show off their masterpieces at RHA's first annual Masquerade Ball. RHA members spent hours playing fairy godmother and preparing the Maloney Great Room for the ball. Decorations, food, balloons, and fairy lights covered the room. Students trickled into this event dressed in their finest. RHA was blown away by how many students were expected at this event. The idea for this event came from RHA's own Mackenzie Frank.
You know, at first people were nervous because they were afraid that no one would sign up for it, but we have about 400 people signed up.
400 people or so? Yes, very excited. Did not expect that.
Frank sent out multiple surveys to hear if students would be interested in such events, and the response was incredible.
I haven't been able to wear this tuxedo since prom, so I was excited to put it back on. It's going to be fun. I think the masks was a really good idea. It's just like adds a different twist to it.
Students had handmade, store-bought, and even masks from overseas.
One of my best friends actually brought it back for me from Venice.
The two best masks would win Ball King and Queen. Some students were very confident in their masks, while others were not.
Well, the beautiful mask I'm wearing will probably win King.
I'm feeling very confident about my mask. I think I'm among some very well-masked people.
Not really, nah. I don't want attention on me.
As students warmed up, many found themselves at the event's photo booth. Students had signs and decorations they could use to spice up their photos. Overall, the event was a hit with over 300 attendees. Mackenzie Wolfson, The Green and the Gold.
It was a taste of Black culture. That was the theme of a special event sponsored by the Black and Latino Student Union. The Green and the Gold's Ronnie Pinkerton has that story.
Taste of Black culture is a great event for students around campus. It gives students the opportunity to taste something new. BLSU just doesn't have Taste of Black culture, but also have Taste of Latin culture for their Latin Heritage Month. What really makes this event special is that it's a great social gathering also. Students get a chance not only to taste new food, but get a chance to meet new people.
For some of us, it's actually new. For some people here at Siena, they don't know what some of the foods that are in Black culture consist of. So being able to have Taste of Black culture here at Siena introduces those people to new foods.
Taste of Black culture is a great event every year, and while BLSU continues to make it an annual event. Tonight, BLSU students came out to support Taste of Black culture. It gives students around campus the opportunity to try new food and taste new culture that they never tasted before.
I think BLSU does good every year on this part. Who doesn't want a free meal? So I think it is a good turnout each year.
You got to give everybody a taste of something so they know that Siena is very diverse and the Black community is very limited here. So I feel like in order to branch out, we got to give them a little taste of something so they know what we're all about.
BLSU will continue to branch out and spread the taste of Black culture and also Latin culture. Ronnie Pinkerton Jr., The Green and the Gold.
Students took part in a diversity summit on campus, designed to further our understanding of other people and their cultures. The Green and the Gold's Dan Gio has more.
Siena held a diversity summit to try and get students and faculty alike more involved in the topic. The summit lasted all day, consisting of workshops and even a guest speaker to come and speak.
I started planning these events back in the summer, really ensure the speakers, the presenters are available for today and making everything successful.
For a college made up of 80% white students, the summit seemed to be a very big success. People of all races came out to hear what the keynote speaker, Dr. Eddie Moore Jr., had to say about the topic.
He said that a lot of people are really positive, but he doesn't see enough of acting on it and speaking out and standing up for what you believe in.
I think the whole speech is so powerful that it really delivers how important it is to do diversity work.
Over the past few years, Dr. Morris traveled to schools all over the country speaking about diversity and in workshops, much like the one at Siena. Dan Gio, the Green and the Gold.
The Siena men's basketball team is proving the definition of home court advantage this season. Once again, here's the Green and the Gold's Alyssa Giordano.
The Siena men's basketball team is proving the definition of home court advantage this season.
Oh my God, the fans at Siena will make the program. That's the basis of this program is the fans. They're great, their support. You get 5,000 and 6,000 people. The whole experience at Siena isn't just a community. It's not just a school, it's the entire community.
Siena is in the midst of one of their longest home game winning streaks, and with 8,354 fans here tonight, it's not hard to imagine why. The men went 9-0 at home in the beginning of the season, which hasn't been done since 2001 when they went 17-0.
This team's really tight, and we've stayed healthy, knock on wood, and except for Marquise, of course, gets injured. But now we have backups because Kenny Wormley and Nico are really good freshmen that have been able to help us. But they really like each other off the court.
Key players to the team like Javion Ogunyemi, Levon Long, and Ryan Oliver were among the few that were able to contribute to this success, especially with star player Marquise Wright being injured for most of the season.
It's been a great feeling watching them win, but then it hurt so bad not being on the floor with them.
It was tough. Marquise's injury was tough, but the good news is that he can come back and help us with a couple weeks left in the season and also the tournament. Because the winner of the tournament is going to go to the NCAA, and Marquise will be back for that.
The Saints will have the chance to carry over that home court advantage during the MAC tournament, which will be held at the Times Union Center during the first week of March. In Ladinville, New York, I'm Alyssa Giordano for the Green and the Gold.
Siena College houses one of the most female-dominated athletic programs, home to 11 women's sports teams. Female athletes were recognized at this year's Women in Sports event. The Green and the Gold's Mary Drabick has details.
Siena College has 11 Division I sports programs for women to the men's 7. Women in Sports Day is a nationally run event that helps showcase all the women do for the school. The event involved young women in the community for a night of fun and honor for the Lady Saints. Young girls from neighboring elementary schools were in attendance to help cheer on the women's basketball team, while some were being recognized.
I'm really excited to see the 5 winners from the local school that have been selected. They are girl athletes at their schools, and they wrote why athletics is important to them. And today we'll be announcing who the winners are, and they will actually be coming to Siena this summer, and their sport camp of choice will be paid for.
The female athletes were being applauded for their greatness in and outside the classroom. The many achievements have not gone unrecognized among the male athletes who showed support on this special day.
Women's sport is becoming more popular each day, and it's good to see a big crowd here, and I think
they have the match's opening quarter,
2015 has been a highly successful year for the female athletes, and they hope to continue on. For the Green and the Gold, I'm Mary Drabick.
He's the Saint on the sidelines who has everybody cheering. The Green and the Gold's Alyssa Giordano catches up with the St. Bernard, who's become a Siena celebrity.
Siena College has a canine friend that has been dancing around since 1989. Bernie, the St. Bernard, is Siena's #1 fan and loves to support his Saints in any way he can.
Someone to hang out with and someone to get the crowd going.
Friars, alumni, everybody loves Siena's favorite four-legged friend.
Bernie brings a lot of energy here. He's the funnest person or animal in the room, I guess you could say. The kids love him, and he just does a lot to, bring the whole Siena cheer and excitement to the game.
Bernie wags his tail to the beat to pump up the crowd at all of the home Siena basketball games. His energetic entertainment has made him the favorite mascot of Siena College.
Bernie literally brings everybody to life at every game. People are looking for him in the crowds. He gets everybody pumped up. We love seeing him, and you can always find him somewhere in the audience dancing or having some fun, finding people and hugging them, giving high fives, and he really helps people enjoy the game.
Whether he's cheering on the Saints, opening the doors, or jumping in your next selfie for Instagram, Bernie is one furry friend that everyone wants around. For the Green and the Gold, I'm Melissa Giordano.
Thanks for joining us for this edition of The Green and the Gold.
On behalf of all the students in the broadcast program at Siena College, thanks for watching, and stay tuned.
All the stories you've just seen were developed by students in Dr. Rebecca Taylor's advanced journalism and interviewing classes. They do it all, from finding the stories to conducting interviews to writing the scripts and shooting and editing the video. If you'd like to learn more about the broadcast program, just drop by our studio in Foy Hall and stay tuned to The Green and the Gold, covering your campus. On behalf of the broadcast program at Siena College, I'm Mary Dravick for The Green and the Gold.